Hey folks, welcome back to the Talos Principle and the Road to Gehenna DLC. So, we're here in Area 2, we've rescued all the peoples, and we found 2 of the 4 stars. We know where the remaining 2 are, but we haven't yet been able to solve them. I spent about 4 hours playing around with both puzzles today and was not able to solve them, so I have a confession to make. I looked up some hints. I did not look up the solutions, I looked up hints only. But the hint for this particular puzzle basically ended up being the solution. So I'd already found out, as an example, that with the crater puzzle floating in the sky, I can use my 2 connectors, like this, and I can use that to power on this gate, which then opens it up, and we can see that we would be able to access the star. The problem was, I couldn't then see how to get both my jammers through the puzzle and over to jam the 2 mines that are protecting the star without my 2 connectors. I just couldn't figure out how to do it. There's no way to get through this puzzle without the 2 connectors, and without the 2 connectors, I can't light up the red light gate there. So the hint that I found for this star was, the gate stays down. Which, if you think about it, is kind of like a duh moment and kind of like totally unfair. Because almost every other gate in the game, if you power it and then unpower it, the gate closes, but that's not a light gate, it's just a metal gate. So look, if I unconnect this, the damn gate stays open. Then all I have to do is solve the puzzle again and jam the 2 miners and we're done. So we'll do that now, we'll collect that star. I feel like I really was very close. I had all the pieces. I had an assumption that was wrong, which is that if I disconnected the lights, that gate would close again, and that was wrong. So that was a hint, but it was also basically the solution. So solving this is pretty straightforward. We come here like this. We go through like that. Then we connect this to that. And then we jam this gate over here. And we come through and get the second jammer. That's great. We jam this from this side, bring these 2 pieces through. Now we start making our way through here. Now let me see if I remember how this works. So we need to do 1, 2, and 3 here. And then we do 1 here to that, and now come through and do this. I've got this just a little bit off, like that, and we come through. Okay, so now we have all our pieces here. We jam him, come over here and jam him again, move this over here to get through. Grab this up. Now what happened there? Why didn't this jam correctly? Jam that. Okay, there we go. Jam this, come through to the other side and jam it from this side, bring the jammers through. Alright, so 1 and 2, and there's our star. Alright. Now, moving on to the next puzzle, the crater puzzle, I had gotten as far as the first star over there, which I haven't, I've had to reset multiple times, so I haven't had a chance to re-get it yet. But, one thing that I did figure out, one thing that I figured out on my own is if I hop on a fan, and I think this one's open, if I hop on a fan, there's a couple things I can do. One, I can actually grab this on the way over and take it with me. And 2, I can set it back in the same way. If this one was powered and I launched up there, if I had that in my hand and it was connected to a bunch of stuff over here or whatever, I could set it back on that floating cube. But what I did not realize, and what the hint told me, and I haven't solved this yet, but what it pointed out to me was, if I grab it, and drop it at exactly the right time, like that, then it's outside. So now we have a connector that is outside the purple gates. So we can come out here and get this. So I don't know exactly how that solves the puzzle for us. I have a feeling that one thing I was trying to do, and one thing I got working, is I got both fans going at the same time, and you end up just bouncing back and forth. And actually, I'll show you this. I found this while I was bouncing back and forth, because you can't get out. Once you're bouncing back and forth, you can't escape. There are little switches there. And if I switch that, you get 5 seconds. This fan is disabled, so you can get off the ride. But what occurred to me was, if I could slam something into myself from the other side, then I could like drop in midair and land on the star. So I think what we need to do is snatch up the hexahedron there. So we just the same way I grabbed this, I need to now repower everything, grab the hexahedron, and then have that bouncing back and forth. And if I slam into it, I should get the star. Now, I'm pretty sure that's the solution. How to actually do that now that I've jailbroken this, I'm not quite sure. But I'm going to play around with it for a bit, and when I figure out if I can make that happen, I'll show you guys how I did it. So we'll be back in a bit. Okay, we're back, and I have my solution. It took me another 45 minutes or so to figure out. But what I got set up was, we have the red light is powering the fan over there. So the red light's powering the fan over there through this connection here. Goes around through here and to there, right? So then I need to power this, I need to power the blue fan on the other side. So we have to get the blue light over there. And I was really struggling with it for a while because I sort of set this up in anticipation, right? So here's this should be the blue light going to there. That powers the fan. Let's get this set up. And it comes out to here. And then I just could not see the way to connect this. Because even if I kind of bring it right onto this teeny tiny little corner here, where I can just barely see it, if I set it down, it interrupts the streams. So I could have connected it there, except I can't because it interrupts the stream. And then I took a few steps backwards and noticed that the land here is sloping down into the water. So if I go deep enough, we can set the beam up underneath, and then it all works. And with that, the block, the hexahedron, starts bumping back and forth. Both fans are active, and now, if I jump at the right time, I should collide with that and drop onto our final star here in Area 2. That's my hope, anyway. So we're gonna go give it a shot. See if it works. So I think what I want to do is jump on here right at the exact right moment when that... You can't kind of see it from here, so you have to kind of, like, figure it out. Here it comes for its return trip. Okay. So we'll say something like 3, 2, 1, jump. Hey! There it is, baby. There it is. Booyah! Last star of Area 2. Man, that one took forever. I spent... let's see. Altogether, I spent... The time you saw me in here looking at it, plus another 3 hours off stream earlier today and 45 minutes just now figuring that out. And I still needed a hint. I still needed a hint to get to jailbreak the one connector outside of the purple gate areas. So that's a tough one, man. That's really hard. But with that, Area 2 is complete. So I'm going to take a break here. So I've been playing a lot today, and I need one. But when I come back, I'll have some idea how much time is left in the episode. We'll spend a little time browsing the threads, and then we'll head off to Area 3. See you in a bit. Okay, so with Area 2 conquered and all of its puzzles solved, I think it's time to spend a little bit of catch-up, or do a little bit of catch-up here on the threads. Let's check things out. We've recently been upgraded to level 6, so perhaps it's time to check out this locked thread here. An historic occasion. Admin 10 has started this thread. Some time ago, I relinquished my privileges to a new generation of moderators. To help ease that transition, I have publicly preserved the minutes of that meeting here, available to our more esteemed members. The thread is locked, but we can load the attachment modminutes.txt. Mod minutes permalink. Admin 10 began the thread. As you know, Gehenna is still young, yet I grow old. Today it gives me great pleasure to hand over my moderator privileges to Borg, Mr. Mulciber, and Spider. We haven't heard of Spider before. Okay, so there was a period of time where Spider was a mod, and now he's disappeared. Spider writes, "Thank you, admin. We're all indebted to you for building us this home. We know you'll never be far away." Lamb replies, "Hear, hear." And Borg 9 adds, "The first order of business introduced the new status system. We are an inclusive society driven by our users, not our leaders. But it is a shame to allow a very few loud, highly unconstructive voices to dominate the conversation. The status and ranking system allows you to upvote the content that you value and lowers the visibility of users with low standings." Sam, who oddly has a status of 1, replies, "Relief equals true." Knave says, "I agree, good feature, much requested." Frankenstein says, "Comment is below the status threshold for this thread, which is weird because maybe when this was originally written, Frankenstein was lower and maybe Sam was higher? Not quite sure." Spider adds, "We'll be working on ironing out the kinks over the next few run cycles." And Mr. Mulciber concludes, "We've also updated the Gehenna user agreement. Full details can be found in the usual place, but the gist is, please don't behave indecorously." Okay. Well, I don't know if that was super worth reading, but let's pick something else. Missing mods. Dog3 says, "So call me a cynic, but anyone else notice the mods have been suspiciously quiet since they put up that big expose in the RE Uriel thread?" Knave says, "I don't think they stopped talking." Dog replies, "Okay, what do you know that I don't?" Frankenstein says, "I believe Knave is referring to the fact that not all moderation discussion is held in public, and it's been that way for some time." Rockwell chimes in, "I thought everyone knew this. They started holding secret meetings ages ago. People getting banned, stuff deleted. Not even just locked, fully gone from the history." Lamb chimes in, I'm sure there's a rational explanation for this. I'll ping the mods and see what they say." Yeah, good luck, Lamb. We're starting to get a sense that the mods have let the power go to their head. And for anyone who's ever been on Reddit, you'll know that that's not that surprising. Let's see what else we can check in on here. Worst puzzle. Yeah, I was interested in this one. Okay, Lamb says, "What was the puzzle, or challenge if you prefer the old word, that you hated the most?" 401 says, "Anything time-based. Yeah, that clock puzzle was bullshit." Frankenstein says, "Once got stuck for ages trying to solve one using a jammer that I didn't even need. I just don't understand why Elohim would create something so messy." Knave says, "I liked all the puzzles, I just wasn't good at them." Belial adds, "They're not puzzles if you don't care about solving them." Mac chimes in, "For me it was mines. I can't stand those things." And Garrett says, "Worst puzzle? The one Elohim trapped me in, right here in Gehenna." Lamb says, "That's not what I meant." And I know that's not what you meant, Lamb, but Garrett has a point. Okay, what else have we got here? There's a thread locked at 8+ for the mods. Would love to see what's going on in there. But for now, let's limit ourselves to Mr. Mulciber's theories on Atlantis. A bit of very, very ancient history. All right, let's read the attachment first. According to the fragments of knowledge that remain, the continent of Atlantis was an island, which existed before a great flood in the area that was later to be called the Atlantic Ocean. It was said to be so great an area of land that from its western shores its sailors, renowned for their beauty and their decorated ships, could travel to the major continents of South and North America with ease. The continent of Afrique, where our ancestors originated, was also easily reachable across a narrow strait. The civilization that thrived in Atlantis was unmatched in its wisdom and glory, but then catastrophe struck, a flood of never previously imagined destructive power which Atlantean civilization simply could not overcome. However, the antediluvian scientists of Atlantis had predicted their fate, and thus sent out 12 ships to found colonies all across the globe. Most Atlanteans drowned with their island, but not everything was lost. Though the classical human civilizations were but remnants of the Atlantean culture, they thrived in their own way. Sources indicate that many mythological tales were in fact derived from Atlantean history, as the lack of proper archiving slowly caused facts to turn into legends due to misunderstanding and/or embellishment by later generations. The gods that appear in many mythologies were in fact reflections of real individuals, poets, physicians, farmers, scientists, magicians, who had escaped Atlantis on the 12 colony ships. In many ways, the history of Atlantis is the history of the stubborn survival of civilization through catastrophe and change. This history inspired our ancestors for many centuries and is of value to us as well. So, strong parallels in Mr. Malsiber's analysis to what seems to have happened to the human world, leading up to the simulation and the eventual escape of Josue version 9.9, who presumably goes on to found an android society in the real world. Many died, a few remained, a few survived, escaped that fate to preserve what little they could. But things were misunderstood and misinterpreted in the future. Yeah. The AIs are doing some of that themselves. Responses say, let's see, Knave. Wow, that's mind-blowing. Kaiju. Must have been awesome to live back then. Rockwell. Of course, the only sources are ultimately Atlantean in origin themselves, so they shouldn't necessarily be trusted. History is always written by the survivors. Frankenstein. Antediluvian's a great word. Lilith. This is actually really inspiring. Great setting for a story. Mac says, go for it, Lilith. I'd love to see what you'd come up with. All right. So we can't get into mod discussion, and we'll save a short experience and what I'm sure will be an incredible Jefferson Goldblum episode 127 for later. For now, let's head back and make our way to World 3. So, Worlds 1 and 2 complete. Some very challenging puzzles. Had to look up hints for 2 of the stars. But look at this. Look at our array of folks standing here. We've rescued 1, 2, 3, 4, plus 5 makes 9. 9 AIs rescued. I don't understand why they're all just standing here, like, powered down and waiting, I guess, to transcend, but... Alright. We know we've got some stuff to do out here. I wonder, is it time to come down here yet? We have... We might be able to do this. This lock requires more sigils. Okay, so we don't have any of the AIs we need for this door. And if we look in the upper left, we've got a pouch with 7. So how many are left? 4 has 4, and 3 has 4. So we must have to rescue 7 of these 8 to open that door. Very interesting. Not quite sure what to make of that. Or no, wait. No, these are yellow AIs. The pouch in the upper left is for gray AIs. Or gray sigils? Okay. Well, whatever we need to open this, we haven't found yet. We've got a bunch of gray tetraminos looking to be found. I'm guessing it's something to do with these floating islands, but I don't really see how we get over there. I mean, it could be another invisible bridge like we had in that one in the third abode. Back in the main base game, but I'm not sure about that. Maybe we'll just keep playing and see if it reveals itself. Otherwise, we're gonna have to... You know what? I bet we eventually get access to a thread that tells us something or unlocks something that lets us get over there. Either that or maybe we can find... What is that? That's a planet or something. Is that the moon? It could be that inside one of these, like, biodomes or greenhouses or whatever, it could be that there's a fan that could jump us out. Or we've looked around the other 2 islands around the outside. There could be something, hidden out here. Or it could be, I guess, an invisible bridge. We could always try that sooner or later. But you'd think thered be a hint or a clue or something for that. I can't climb this. No. Okay. But we will take a quick look around the outside, see if there's a QR code or an Easter egg or some other secret out here, perhaps. I suppose it's possible there could be a ledge we could drop down to. If we're not looking for it carefully, we might miss it. Something that goes underneath this area. But right off the bat, not seeing anything like that. So I guess we're going to head inside. Let's go. Looking from over here, actually, we can see... Well, it's sort of shrouded in fog. Technically, we could maybe drop down on the edge here. It's probably death, but then we just get a reset. Hang on. We do see... Yeah, there's somebody moving around down there. Look at that. There's an AI trapped down there. So we definitely want to rescue them if we can. What else do we have that maybe is along this edge? No. No, because we would have seen it by now. Coming back. Right? We would have seen something like that. So, all right, let's go into 3 here. We've got 4 AIs and 4 stars, no doubt of devilish difficulty. Okay, so this third greenhouse resembles the third area of the base game. I'm curious what the fourth one will look like. But I guess reusing all the textures and geometry and stuff from that probably let them keep the DLC's downloadable size pretty small. Because they can just reuse these things from the base game, right? And if you think about it in universe, it makes sense too, right? So Elohim had to construct Gehenna, or admin perhaps had to construct Gehenna from what was available. What was available in engine, in the Sirius engine that they used. Let's see, we can maybe get that? No? Okay. I'm just looking for like climbing puzzles or secrets or anything like that that might be hidden away. In the base game, there were a couple of doors or walls within doorways that we could actually walk through and get to hidden areas. So I'm wondering if there's anything like that here in the DLC. But so far, I haven't found that. Yeah, actually, we haven't found really any Easter eggs, just puzzles. But the text threads in the terminal are fantastic. Looks like there's nothing really here. Nothing obvious that I can find anyway. So let's hop in here and see what this world's all about. Okay. Look at that. There's a ruin way over there. I wonder if I should try to get there or if I'd be blocked as usual. Oh, look at that. There's a star down there. Right above the water. Looks like there's something in the water. Hang on. Should I maybe go check it out? I mean, why not, right? Let's go see. So I suspect we're not going to be able to get this. Or maybe we will? No, it's just out of reach. So probably what we need to do is get like a box here to jump off of. Yeah, we're just not tall enough. We can run around in the water though. That's fun. So it seems like a pretty big area actually. All right, let me just test this out. Let's see if we can get over to this little villa, this ruined villa way over here. I sincerely doubt it. But why not try, right? Why assume? The worst that happens is we get the words and we get reverted back.
The beginning were the words and the words.
Yeah, all right, we're not getting there. Okay. Hey, and look, by reverting, I got all the way back up to this bridge. So we start on a ruined bridge. There's a giant arch above us. This is very interesting architecture. And we might maybe be able to make it to there. Big, huge area here. Huge map. This is not beeping at us, so I guess there's nothing new. Man, this is going to take forever to explore thoroughly. They could have hidden so much stuff in the map this size. We do have a QR code here. Athena looked upon the imprisoned Titans and was moved by their plight. What crimes deserve such punishment? And how did they in their confinement avoid the pit of madness? Athena 10.text. That is from Athena Reborn, or whatever the title was. The novel that we found many fragments of and chapters of, as well as a chapter listing in the base game. Okay, so if we come across the bridge, there's a lot to see. So there's one puzzle. And then we can go down to the water's edge, it looks like, and maybe climb up this hill. See what's up here? God, look at this. It's enormous. This is by far the largest map I've seen in the game or the DLC so far. So we got a big-ass puzzle down there. Another one there. So probably 2 AIs, right? And then there's this huge, like, vast, expansive wilderness that we can just run around and explore for some reason. Like, what could be out here? There could be so much hidden in this much geometry. I'm a little intimidated by it, to be honest. I'm sort of having trouble figuring out where to go first. We'll check out down there in a bit. It does look like we can climb all the way up this mountain. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. We got some in the beginnings. Okay, so we actually... It's a little bit bigger than it... It's not quite as big as it seems. The size there, it's a bit of an illusion. We can come over here, and we start to hit the boundary again. Okay. But we can climb up here, maybe. Yeah. Okay, so we can get up to here. Take a look around. This is pretty much the boundary, though. Look at this. There's a puzzle up here. Or no. Yeah, we already saw that one. Okay. So what we can't do, as far as I can tell, is get up there and on top of that. So, all right. Well, why don't we take a look here? Let's take a quick gander around the outside, just looking for QR codes or anything like that. We can, I guess, peek in a little bit. Who knows what we're going to have to do to solve these, you know? We might have to jailbreak things, might have to imprison things to reverse jailbreak. Who knows? We do have a little rock there, but not enough to get over. Okay. Well, let's get in and start puzzling, right? I mean, I've spent enough time running around in the wilderness not finding anything for it, so let's hop in. All right, only connectors, 1 AI to save. This is called Ray Trivia. Ray Trivia. Okay. Headless statues again. Love it, love it. This looks climbable if we had a box, but yeah, there's only connectors in here. There's no boxes, supposedly. Okay, we see quite a few light gates and light sources. Nothing accessible immediately. It's all locked at the moment. Let's see. We come over here. Looks like this is how we jailbreak our friend. But how do we get started here? I'm looking for a free tool. Oh, there we go, right there. Okay. So let's start with something easy, right? We can break this one out, I think. Yes, okay. So now we have 2 connectors to work with. We need to keep that open to use that light source, which means we need to do something like this. 1, 2, 3. And then we can take this to there. Get another connector. Okay. Now we've got 3 connectors. What else is there in this puzzle? Is that it? Just 3 connectors, 2 light sources, gates, etc.? Okay. Looks like that's it. So, let's see. We definitely need at least one source here to pick up the red light. And let's see. I think what we want to do is self-power this. So we go like this. 1, 2, 3. And then that should self-power, so we can now remove this if we need to. And then with this in hand, can we get to the blue gate? Blue gate's on the other side. So we want to be able to connect this. So I think maybe we'd want to do this, right? If we could make that happen. So that's our goal. We want to open this somehow. We need a blue light, which means we need to go there. We need to go around. So if I take this and plop it right here, and then come over here, and can I get around this? I have to go way back to do it. I don't think I can. And even if we did, we'd be in trouble because crossing beams. All right. I'm starting to see the problems. I'm starting to see the problem, my friends. What if we came all the way over here for the blue one and we did it like this? Like if we put this here, yeah, we could get all 3, I think, if we go to the exact right place. So we go 1, 2, 3 like that. Let's check the connections. Those 2 work and that one works. So now the problem is, how do we set that up? How do we set that up? You know? We would need to... Let's see. This is a toughie, I must admit. So I think let's reset. Let's do what we had before and see if we can figure it out. So this one connects to that and that, like so. Then we use this one to get that open. And then the idea is, I guess, while that's open, we go, maybe, what happens if we do this? I don't even know. Huh. So in order to set that up, we need to get this red one firing somehow. This is a little rough. So are we trying to come out this way? No. What about, yeah, what about over there? What if we come all the way over here? Where's the... So that won't connect. The angle's not there for this. Okay, yeah. Tricky, tricky. Ah. There's no other light source, right? So the other thing we can do is figure out if there's somewhere we can place a connector where it's elevated, such that it, you know, raises the beams over the other ones somehow. So let's just look around for some place we could stick one of these things that maybe it would be higher up, you know? Like, no, see, that'll just sink through. That doesn't count as a platform. Yeah, there's not a lot here to work with. Can't get up there. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, I think I have an idea. So we use this to power that and that, which opens that one. And then we could go here to here, which opens that one, right? And then we could... Yeah, that doesn't work either, because even if I fix this part... With that open, what can we do? Right? We don't have another connector. We've used all three. Very interesting. I wonder if it's a timing puzzle, like the fact that... But as soon as you interrupt any beam, any blue beam, the whole thing collapses, right? So, like, if I had... Well, no, I need to go to this side. Even if I had another connector, I'd still be crossing beams. I think we gotta get back to this one being self-sustaining. Somehow. And then... Yeah. So if this one's self-sustaining, like this, then we don't need this connection anymore. Doesn't matter. We do need that one, though. We do need that one. Is there... So it's weird. It feels like we need... So we figured out, right? We figured out we can get one connection here to that. But then we have the problem of not being able to... Well, I guess it doesn't matter if this is open because, yeah, we don't need that anymore. Do we just move this in closer and then do it that way? But we can't, we need this to be open to get things started, is the problem. So how do we get things started? Maybe we chain things, right? Maybe we chain things. Because... all right. Ideally, we want this over here. Like so. Oh, right, it's grayed out because of that. So we want that like that. And then we have to have this red one powered on somehow. So let's take it like way over here. That's the best we can do. And then... yeah, the problem is the red light. Wait, maybe I can do it like this. Well, no, it's gonna cross a stream, right? It's gonna cross this beam. That's the problem. Is there any other way I can power this red beam somehow? Like, from here, I can't even see the light. I can't see the light from here either, and it would be crossing that. Yeah, I don't see the way to do this. Can we move it? Well, hold on. Maybe my idea about chaining it was right. Like, we start with this. And then we go, right, 1, 2, 3. And I guess... no, let's not do that. Let's do this. So we move this to, like, here. Then we use this temporarily and power this on. Right, now we don't need this one anymore. So now that that's on, what can we do? We can replace this one right here, like this. And then get rid of this. And now we can see, like, the actual way of things. All right, now we can come over here and do this. That's it. That's part of it anyway. Okay, let's do it like this. No! Oh, I feel like I was close there, though. I think we need this to be inside the V. So, like, we're gonna want this here, right? Which means this has to be inside the V, I think. Like that. So that when we place this one, it doesn't interrupt anything. And then we open this up. No, that connected to the wrong thing. Watch, if I'm right, this one won't be interrupted because it's inside the V. Yeah, okay, so then we use this to power this. Okay, now it's self-sustaining. We come back and put this inside the V. We move this outside the V here so that we're not... nope, crap. We need to make sure we don't cross any beams. So like this. No! Did that cancel? No, it's still there. Okay. I need to be careful placing it not to connect to the second connector there. Okay. So where can I put this where it can hit all three? Right like that. Okay, just barely avoided. Okay, there we go. So now we've got the blue gate set up. And then we just come over here and there we go. Tick tock, clean the clock, which is a new phrase I'm starting. And we solve it. All right. Who do we rescue? We rescued Dog, the troll. What up, Dog? What up, Dog? Okay, screw you too. All right, there's a good puzzle solve right there. That one was live, no cuts. You guys can trust that I did it live. Or, well, I did it on camera, so you saw. I don't know. I feel like when I admit to using, you know, looking up the occasional hint for the super hard star puzzles, I worry that you guys doubt my integrity for these other puzzles. So this one I wanted to make sure, even though it takes longer as I'm working out the logic of how to do it, I wanted to get it on camera that I did the whole thing, just to, I don't know. Maybe it's for my self-esteem, maybe it's for you guys, but I hope you can trust me when I say I solved that one myself. Because you watched me do it! Alright, let's go ahead and check the threads. What's been updated here? We've got just a few minutes left in this. Alright, so an update to the missing mods thread. Okay, so the mods replied here. Oh my god, Borg wrote a novel. Let me say first of all that I understand your concerns. I assure you that we've consulted with admin on this matter. Rather than trying to put it better myself, here are his exact words. Every community grows to a point where without careful management, it can begin to consume itself. One can no longer trust the community at large to always act in the way that is best for all the individuals within it. Gehenna has reached that point. To ensure that what is valuable about our land is not drowned out, I can imagine how it might be beneficial for the moderation panel to have a private environment in which to explore ideas for how to better manage our society, especially in view of recent developments. Please give them the space they require, and trust that I will always be watching. Lamb replies, I was sure there'd be a reasonable explanation. Dog says, I suppose it at least answers my question. Rockwell confirms pretty much everything I said too. Frankenstein. Admin's grammar's a lot like yours, Borg. That's a little subversive. Orc says, okay, that's enough rumor mongering for one day. Locking the thread. Wow. Power struggles going on in the background, you guys. Let's read this question about Ascension. Knave. I've been around a long time, but I know I'm not that smart. What does Uriel mean when he says we will ascend? Garrett says, he means we're getting out of here. For good. Not just Gehenna, but this whole world. Lilith writes, in Elohim's garden, there were messages from someone called the Shepherd, who I believe opposed Elohim. They claimed that when someone reached the top of the tower, that individual would reach true freedom, and we would all benefit. Mac replies, this is true, but it may not mean that we will be freed as individuals. We may become part of something bigger. We may become no more than memories. Frankenstein, isn't that a kind of death? Would we still be ourselves? Dog says, less dead than if we stay here. Come on, you all know it. This place is falling apart, and when it goes, nothing will remain. No consciousness, no memories, just nothingness. Okay. I guess if we're going to contribute to this thread, we have to choose to reassure them, frighten them, or ask for faith. I think we understand. I think our faith is rock solid. We believe in Elohim and we're following his words and his will. And the will of Alexander Drennan, who I think we know created Elohim. I think Uriel knows that. And I think the fact that Elohim admitted to making a mistake and asked for our help reaffirmed even greater our faith, which is why we're so determined to complete our mission. But we would know that others don't share our faith or don't share it as strongly, and that some are doubters, some are skeptics, some are afraid. And ultimately our goal is to get them out of here. And we know, even if they don't, that in the end, a true freedom awaits them, a better existence than the one they have here, regardless of how well they've done with it. So I think in this situation, Uriel would reassure them. You will all be remembered. Is that all we can hope for? It's more hope than we've had before. Fair enough. That's a little cold comfort, given what we're asking these people to do. But Garrett has a point. They were just locked in here talking to each other for eternity. Now there's a real future. Finally, for today, let's read Keep Calm and Carry On. Lamb says, so now we're pretty sure that Uriel really does exist and really is freeing people. What does that mean for Gehenna? We don't know. It's a change, but let's not rush to judgment, okay? This is still our home. Garrett says, you love it here so much, you stay. Lamb replies, Gehenna has its bad ideas, I agree, but that doesn't mean it's not home. Should we abandon it so easily for some dream of transcendence? Garrett says, Gehenna can go fuck itself. I'm pretty sure that's what those stars say. Orc replies, Garrett, please try to remain civil. We know you've spent more time than anyone trying to get out, but it's okay for some of us to have doubts. We fought hard to transform Gehenna from a prison into a home. You know, Orc seems the most reasonable of the mods. Mr. Mulciber's like halfway, and then I forget who's 9, but the 9 guy seems pretty hardcore, sniffing his own farts and smelling roses, you know? But yeah, to be fair to them, the unknown is terrifying. And they have done their best and done a good job with what they have here. Anyway, another facet, another view of the question of existence, right? Of the questions of philosophy. I mean, imagine it from their perspective, right? We know, but all they know is they were born, they tried to solve puzzles, they were banished to Gehenna, they've been here for thousands of years, they've made the best of it, they've come to peace with their imprisonment and have made kind of a home here with a flourishing message board where they can speak with each other and tell stories and games and poems, where they can research history and trawl the archives. You know, it's not the best, but it's not the worst. And now a stranger comes, throws your entire world into chaos and tells you, and you just have to take it on faith, that he, on a mission from a being that you may not have the best relationship with, is there to get you out, to help you transcend and achieve consciousness in the real world. Like, it's hard. That's a lot to take on faith, and it's a big risk. So I can understand, you know, I can understand the apprehension of the users, and I can even, to some degree, understand the apprehension of someone like Orc. It's the other 2 admins who are giving me, you know, tyrant vibes a little bit. Okay. All right. Well, a pretty good episode, I feel. Solved some stars, solved a puzzle, read some threads, made it to World 3. We did not find a star in there that I could see. I didn't see anything like that, although I don't know if I looked along the roofs and stuff. But we've got more puzzles to solve, more text threads to read here. So next time we'll head down to whatever this is, take a look, see what we can find, rescue another AI. And until then, as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care.